And they'll get the Leona too. So what is going to be played here with this Kai'Sa bottom lane is the real question, because Alistar is the classic, right? Like, it's the only one that's left. It's been historically decently strong into Leona, because you could just knock up the Leona when she goes in for the engage and try to make those trades happen.
We'll see if they can find that dive that they're looking for a little bit later on in the game. But guys, you're ready to jump onto the Rift here for game number 1 right now.
You have a really strong front line in this Cassante. Sure, they have the Skarner as well, but you have poke. And yes, Ezreal can somewhat relatively poke back, but you have the Void Seekers and you have the Nidalee Spears.
So Alistar at level 1, they're trying to take advantage of this. Andel doesn't even press his button. Might not have skilled anything up, maybe not expecting them in the brush just yet. But you would expect with the weakness of Alistar that you and Guger should be able to put on some pressure here early on. And they are going to be pushed in here. Definitely, oh, they're going to go in on this one. And as you mentioned, Andel just going to get that knock-up immediately. They'd go for the Q first.
Pacing-wise, got some wards. Here we go again.
Yeah, Leaper going to get hit by a lot, but they are going to knock Guger into the turret. He has to flash away, and there's just full combo damage coming on in. The issue with this, though, is that even though Guger has to flash, a big amount of health is still left here for Jiu, and he can bully even 1v2 as long as he doesn't get too close to the sun. So, as speaking of Hex Flash, yeah, like Guger's he's kind of getting in there. I don't know about this one. Not the best trade. At least Sylvie is here to trade it back on Andel. And now threatening quite a bit. Guger going to hit that Q, but we talked a lot about the Ezreal. It feels like he's benefiting the most from this early game so far.
Absolutely. Fight over the Scuttle now as Cuz is trading back. Guger isolated here on the left side.
And he still doesn't have flash. He's taking a lot of damage here. The ult comes in, and Guger will survive. And Bulldog getting very close to the sun. He's going to go down, and it's Ziwu who picks up first blood.
And this Ezreal is already kind of on its way.
They're going to try to set up something here on a Dindin. The all-out does come out, and the Talia is nearby. Sylvie could wall up to the top side as this pull is going to come in the Impale. The amount of CC is crazy as Cuz is going to go down to Dindin. And look at this, Dudu desperate. He finally takes out the Scorpion, but Sylvie still on the chase. It looks like with this Cassante, he will just let him go, but
the scene where the grandmother has this lucky cricket and she like covers her eyes because the cricket is lucky and walks through the street and it's a disaster, but she walks out alive. Like, that's Guger for me right now.
Yeah.
All right, Dindin looking for the Impale, but guess what?
Oh, they're going in. Look at that. Jiu's going to get caught out. We're going to have to see how that trade even began, but seemed like Leaper found his moment. He was able to cleanse probably the Solar Flare or some kind of stun.
Here isn't item-wise so far ahead that it's not playable here. They're both at level 8 as he just goes in for the W.
So that's why.
Yeah. And then Leaper is able to very easily follow up with his killer instinct. They'll just clear the wave. Guger walks out. And Tristana left alone for just a minute here in the mid lane. Looks like Fisher with no teleport will lose a little bit of farm here. Bulldog not going to push the issue on plates as they want to go for round 2.
Might as well. There's still nobody here, and Dindin, yes, he is Skarner. There is a 3-man Impale, but it's still the Alistar just tanking so many turret shots with his ult, and I mean, nobody else is there. He's still down a flash. They wrap all the way around to make sure he cannot escape, and it's just textbook. For some reason, that movie has just been one of the ones. The Sleeper's in a lot of trouble here. He doesn't have his cleanse, and that's going to be the end of him. Very nice engage from the side of Guger and the rest of Nongshim to punish him, knowing he did not have his cleanse.
Yeah, and without him here, I mean, this should just be a good Herald start. Jiu going to be able to push this lane in pretty easy.
Yeah, they do a good job of essentially just slowly taking an angle and pushing Nongshim on, and now Andel's back in. Very nice flash, gets the double knock-up. Sylvie in a bit of trouble as Leona is in the Rift Herald amongst all of this, and now the turn comes in as where are we going on the map? Cassante gonna bring Guger back and immediately goes down. It's a big fight for Nongshim. They take down 2, and Sylvie trying to make a hero play as well. Does get traded back by Leaper. And so that's a kill donated back over to Quantum Freak. Some low health bars here, and Leaper full on health, still has the killer instinct and an opportunity. Dindin, though, is very scary.
Come on, Valdez. I think you're being too hard on him.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
No, I mean, if it is successful and if it's a little bit more measured and maybe there is an angle there, like you could champion that, but it definitely ended up backfiring in a huge way. Look at the shred.
Yeah, the flash, big one into Bulldog. And Bulldog is just on the run. We do have a Talia coming in. This time, Sylvie gonna cut it short, just goes for Cuz, and that'll work out. Much better this time. They take down the Nidalee. Zhu nearly died to Leaper, who does not have his ult.
Yeah, really good job here of Cuz setting up these traps and then allowing this poke to chip away, but Dudu's on the flank too. This is very awkward for Nongshim. They have to decide, do we collapse on Dragon or do we push back onto this Cassante? Looks like they choose option B.
Well, they go for the Cassante. He is going to go unstoppable. Andil goes in once again. He sets it up, but is the follow-up? There's the question. Bulldog and Leaper doing some damage, but they can't take out Cougar. Now Bulldog's going to get low himself. Leaper on the run is going to send a W in and does get away. Here comes Jiwoo trying to punish on a Cuz alongside a Skarner. You can see trying to charge through the jungle as Cuz, the True Shot barrage, he's going to get hit by it, but he still is going to live, probably through a heal in there in the darkness as well.
Andil's going for the long con flank, but is found out. And this looks like it might be Nongshim's first Dragon of the game.
Oh, we'll see about this one. They're going to collapse on a Sylvie. That's the smite of Nongshim. You can't let him go down for free as the True Shot barrage not going to come in. And now we got another fight. A double impale coming in on a Bulldog and onto Cuz. Speaking of smite users, down will go Cuz. He's not going to be in there. Bulldog trying to go 1v4 right now. He is chipping away the damage. He's got a Cassante with him as well. They try to take out Cassante, but he gets a double kill. And Bulldog going to jump in and dies immediately. Leaper was somewhere in the mid lane. Now it's all up to him in a 1v3. Trying to go up against Fisher, tries to flash in, doesn't get the kill, and might just have to back off from here, but so many low health bars for Nongshim as well.
Barely the shield done keeps him alive. Meanwhile,
yeah, we're fighting again. We got TPs coming in. Cougar, somehow that spear is gonna miss, and now Leaper gets in, doesn't quite matter, as they will once again take down Cougar here. Yeah, Dude's gonna eat that W once again from the Kaisa, and yeah, Sylvie just can't get in. They're gonna have to give up the Baron. It goes to Guangdong Freaks in a 5v4 situation. Dundun as well. Might just look to get out of this one. The Impale's going to be thrown forward, but again, that was only onto Cassante. And Quantum Freaks just decide, okay, we don't have to overstay. We got the big objective. Let's back away. There's Leandri's on that as well, so some extra burn coming in. Cougar's going to eat one as well. And Nongshim just say, we got to start this up. We can't sit here. Oh, he's going to get hit by another spear. Jiwoo down to 30% health, 40% health.
The poke is unreal.
Yeah, it's just insane, and that's why Nongshim, they're just trying to force this Dragon because they can't stand here forever, but Andil,
flash back up.
They're gonna see him, and now they wanna engage on this front line, but that is a Cassante, and now Andil gets in, and it's a Mountain Soul for Guangdong Freeze. This might just be the game-winning fight. Leaper going into the back line with the killer instinct. He wants to end the game right here, right now, and he will, as Jiwoo will go down. And he picks up a triple kill. Dudu's gonna steal one away. No Penta Hope. But Quantum Freaks, just like that, a massive team fight win.
Such a great team effort here as Cuz is in a little bit of trouble against the Skarner, but will ultimately win this long term. This is the spear. But I think that is just really going to be a consolation prize for Dindin is walking out with his life as Guangdong Freaks have this game in the bag. Great coordination around setting up those traps. Yes, Nongshim clear the vision. Yes, they get to the pit first, but the poke is just too much for Nongshim to deal with, and Andil comes in with a big engage again. Guangdong Freaks, this team looks miles better than what we saw from them at the end of spring.
Yeah, it definitely does. Nongshim, shout out to them, nice try, definitely giving them a challenge here in this first game, but Quantum Freaks once again.
Where he did very little damage this game, but he did Cassante things. He absorbed a lot of pressure, and he was constantly collapsing on the other side of the team fight. So you got Spears, Void Seekers on one side, you got a beefy Cassante on the other.